Here we go. Welcome back to the 100 Millionaires Podcast. My name is Gualter Amarelo, and I am hanging out with Michael Schein and Mitch Jaworski. Mike, bring us in.
Massive income from passive income. Woohoo, Friday.
We made it to Friday. Mitch Jaworski, how do we get that massive income from passive income?
We organize and then we collect.
So before we dive in, just so you know, the point is not to work, it's to generate income. And Mike and Mitch just got sent over a ChatGPT description for this podcast. So that's the one that you read below the comments in Facebook or YouTube if you're on. So we're going to find the best way to incorporate everything that's on that list. Originally, I told ChatGPT we wanted to talk about inconsistent, or what was the word, Mike? You said it was
Unconventional?
out of the box investments.
Yeah, unconventional. Nice.
Unconventional investments. So I typed that word in and ChatGPT said, prepare to expand your investment horizons and explore the exciting world of unconventional investment opportunities in the upcoming podcast episode of the 100 Millionaires Podcast. So
you remind me of,
you
just reminded me of those FM station DJs like Todd Chase, JB105 presents.
I like the monster truck commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
Friday.
Yes,
Sunday,
exactly.
Sunday. We'll sell you the
digger.
whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
In this captivating episode, our dynamic trio will take you on an adventure beyond traditional real estate investment avenues, shedding some light on the captivating possibilities of art investing. We did talk about art, didn't we? So we have to dive into that one. City guaranteed contracts, movie ventures, and even fascinating world of non-fungible tokens.
There we go.
And so we've kind of touched on some of those prior to recording. Now that we're back, what is going on in the art space? Who do you know, Mitch or Mike, who has invested in art? I don't mean non-fungible stuff.
I had a call from a friend of mine, and I thought maybe Mitch could explain this better. But basically, he has a friend who owns a $75 million painting. And they said, rather than give it to some auction house like Christie's that will, take 10% of the money.
$7 million, $7.5 million.
Yeah, that they would, what would they do? They would turn it into an NFT and sell the NFT or some share of the NFT so that you could keep the painting. I think it's in Prague or someplace like that in a safe, but you'd still be able to own a piece of this property. So that's a pretty unusual investment.
They're trying to tokenize the
art.
Exactly.
That piece of art.
Yep.
And physically be able to still keep it. They literally become the custodian. Which honestly,
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't personally. I don't see the upside for me. I mean, the only people like it's straight. It's a unique investment in that you're basically just speculating that that piece of art is going to be worth more than 75 million at some point. So you're buying tokenizing art.
That's
interesting.
Cool. And so, what does that mean? So if do I buy like a 1/10,000?
It depends. I mean, again, I don't know if this is what they're doing, but let's just say hypothetically, they're like, all right, you know what? We're going to break this up. We'll keep it really simple. We're going to break it up into 10% shares, right?
Okay.
So they come out with 10 NFTs. And if you own one of those NFTs, you own 10% of that painting.
That makes sense.
So I invest in real estate. Let's just look at this objectively. I invest in real estate because of cash flows. It's got the
we can tokenize
COC.
real estate.
Well, if we could NFT real estate, right? I suppose.
I mean, all on NFT is people, because the problem is when people say NFT now, they think of literally like a digital piece of like digital art picture.
I'm thinking VFriends. I'm thinking
and
Gary,
that's not what
Gary V's cartoons.
Yeah, that's not what an NFT is. That's an example of an NFT, but an NFT is basically just a non-fungible token. So it's like all it does is represent ownership.
Now you just said words that none of us know what that means.
Whereas someone
NFT is basically a non-fungible token. It obviously makes sense.
Someone get Mel on the recording. Her eyes just glazed over.
At that point, it's like, oh, that crypto stuff. So
but NFT, it's just an acronym, non-fungible token. NFT.
Right,
it's just an acronym. So everyone throws around NFT and they don't even know what it actually they don't even know what the letters stand for.
This
Right.
is like saying cost segregation to somebody who's not in real estate.
Yes.
But
But the
I
reality
need to
is,
do a
like,
cost seg.
if Gualter wanted to, he could take, whatever, 10 condos out of his portfolio and put them into whatever, like a NFT, and sell a percentage of, like, ownership in them.
Now, can I 1031 exchange that NFT? Can I
Wow, that's-
cost seg those buildings?
That, honestly, one
That's
day
crazy.
you will. One day you will, when the government catches up.
Yeah, this NFT thing, it reminds me a lot like syndication. It's basically, a PPM, and it's a way to split up ownership of
Yeah,
an
it's no
asset.
different than think about was it Fundrise, where you can invest like
Fundrise.
$100 and you get a little piece of it's Fundrise,
It's
except for
crowdfunding.
instead of
Yep.
using shares, you're using tokens.
I like that. I get it. The other one we're talking about is movies, investing in movies. How's that for an unconventional investment?
How can we tokenize that?
You would
I got
tokenize everything.
$10 of this movie.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
syndicate a movie. Actually, I've heard of movies being syndicated, right?
Well, I know syndicator Matt Pacini, who was from
He was in the
Boston
movie.
and moved to New York.
Yeah, he was an actor.
He
before.
syndicated 2 Broadway plays, and he won 2 Tony Awards. So he actually had investors. They did 2 plays on Broadway and won Tony Awards. That's pretty amazing. huh?
Nice.
So is that how he got into real estate? I mean, I've interviewed him before. I've actually had him on the Alchemist Nation podcast prior to Mitch Jaworski taking over the podcast. He he bought a duplex and invested in real estate that way. Like, that's how he got started in real estate. But did he do the syndication in real estate first, or the movies in first?
I don't know which came first, the plays or the other one. I
will
think
find that
I
out.
think the theater was after, but it's pretty amazing. I mean, because when you think of syndication, you think of real estate. You don't think of theater. Yeah, that blew
Well,
my
the
mind.
first time I heard the word syndicated or syndication was, in the radio space. Like, you'd have a radio station that's syndicated over multiple different areas, and then newspapers syndicated. But the first time I heard of it was real estate, as far as like the financial side, was real estate syndication. But you do see joint ventures more on the business side, right? But they could technically be syndications.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Huh.
I mean, it kind of expands, anything you want to buy, all you do is get a bunch of people to put some money in and go do it. So I wonder if we could syndicate a jet.
We could syndicate a jet.
I
It
mean,
would
isn't
be
that
hard
what-
to justify, like, what's
isn't
the
that what
return on
that-
investment of syndicating a jet? But
Isn't that what that jet fly business was, or whatever? Like, aren't people like 0 for 3 so far with this? With the trying to like do
Jesse
the
Itzler was very successful. He sold
I think the guys who win are the
Marquee
ones,
Jets.
Marquee
He sold
Jets.
it to Warren Buffett for
The
Yeah.
guys
$5
who win are the
million.
ones who sell the business, though.
What?
The guys who win in that are the ones who sell the business. You don't want to hold the business. You want to
Oh,
sell.
wait a sec. The other
well,
guy
it
is
depends on the
Warren
model
Buffett.
too. Like
Warren Buffett knows how to win
Warren's
at
doing all
everything.
right.
they're trying to Airbnb the jets isn't really working out. That wasn't exactly his model.
Net
No.
Jets. Yeah. And then
That
what's another unusual investment?
Turo, investing in Teslas, buying Teslas, renting them out via Turo. That's we got a billionaire friend who's doing that one.
Yeah, Ramey.
Ramey.
His is he works with the hotels and he bought 100 Teslas
Yep.
at one time. He had to rent a parking garage at University of Southern California. And he sent me a picture of like 100 white Teslas. It looked like Star Wars, the stormtroopers. It's just hundreds of it. It's crazy. Imagine even just moving that. Like, you've got to have like a couple of guys that
You gotta
just
have
drive-
you gotta have a couple dozen guys, like
yeah, just
dozens
drive
of
the
guys
cars
to move
and-
those.
But I thought it was a great idea because the hotels are using it. It's not Turo, it's his own company. I think something or other. And with that one, it's just a value add for the hotel.
Yep.
So you book at his hotel in Beverly Hills and you get the use of a Tesla whenever you want. You never have to deal with the airport, the Hertz Rent-A-Car, any of that stuff. You just show up at your hotel and then it's there for you.
That's sick. So his client is the hotel. He went to a
Yes.
couple hotels, said, "Hey, I
Yeah.
got the service. Are you in?" Got the commitments, then bought the Teslas.
Yeah. Isn't that
That's
cool?
nuts. Oh man, that's why
Doing
I
it.
love him. Like he's so smart.
I know he's in San Francisco and LA, but I think he's expanded to other cities.
So basically, he's gone. I mean, I'm assuming he went to high-end hotels and
Yep.
essentially pitched the service, and then got them the hotels to sign up for whatever
Yep.
X amount of dollars.
Yeah. And it's probably worth it. And because it's a Tesla, it had a little bit more cachet. So it's like, yeah, we have 10 Teslas available anytime you want. They're right in front. Yeah. So that's cool.
And they're easy to manage too. The Teslas are super easy to manage.
Yeah.
You
No
know where they are, like
No maintenance. You don't have
Yeah.
to do spark plugs. You don't have to do oil. You don't have to do gas. You just charge them anyways at the.
they look clean all the time. They fun to drive, unique experience. Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Well,
That's
especially
really
over
good
the last,
investment.
like 10 years where it was less and less common. Like that was like a kind of like a novelty. Like, oh, cool,
Right.
I want to check this out. Like as Tesla becomes more commonplace, that novelty effect's going to wear off, which is fine.
Right.
But like, it goes to show you, like, there's times where you can make some sick money and stuff, but like you gotta like strike while the iron's hot,
Yeah.
right? And get
But-
established, because then when like it fades a little bit, it's like you're already established, you can still make money, but that like real
Right.
crazy time has worn off. And like,
But if you think about it with the Tesla, just because of what Gualter is saying, okay, so they're at the hotel, they have the charging stations at the hotel, which means that you don't have to get gas, you don't have to fill it up, you just bring
Yeah.
it back to the hotel, they plug it in.
yep,
Doesn't, like I said, you don't have to get oil, you don't have to, the maintenance on a Tesla is like
minimal.
Super
and
low.
and
Tires.
Tesla will come to you with their service if it's something simple. So yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
kind
it
of
creates
brilliant.
it's an extension of the hotel. It makes the service go beyond it. It's cool. And to your point, Mitch, all opportunities are like that. You know, you pointed out this
100%.
to me a while back, that by the time you have all your ducks in a row, the opportunity is gone. Like by the time you're ready to do the opportunity, the window is closed and it's moved on. By the time you know all the answers, it's already over. And we look at the window of opportunity in Alchemist Nation right now, and it's because of COVID. It's 100% because of COVID. If they hadn't shut down all live events across the country, it wouldn't be such an easy opportunity for us. But because all companies shifted away from live events, went into virtual, now anybody doing a live event is a god. Like anybody, any kind of live event is like, whoa, like they're rare now. Whereas before, everybody had a meetup, everybody's doing something. So like but I tell the team it's a narrow window of opportunity. Like our goal is to open up 100 trusted teams every single month, and as any week that we're not opening 25, I'm flipping out. Like I'm just letting them know, like, guys, like the window of opportunity is narrow, and if you don't move
Gotcha.
your ass, like we
Wow.
lose the opportunity.
Wow. I got two thoughts. Well, first of all, I was watching this guy on YouTube and he was talking about the fact he went to his gym and he met like 5 or 6 guys who've all been divorced. And at the gym,
That's a fun club.
and well, so he was just asking him what happened, and basically his theory was just kind of what Mitch was saying now, that these people got into these relationships because of the sex, okay, and then they're out there and sex and all that kind of stuff, but at a certain point that fades, and if that was the whole basis of the relationship, with some of these superficial people, that when that ends, then it's kind of like, yeah, there was nothing else. So they got divorced because
I have said that in many relationships in my early life. If we're not having great sex, I can have roommates who can pay the bills. I can have partners.
House hack.
I can have friends in my house too. Like that's never been what this was about.
Well, I mean, that's one pillar, right? There's basically 3 pillars to a successful relationship. That's one of them, because I mean, obviously no one's going to probably be in a marriage for 50 years if the sex is terrible.
Well,
But
I've also
you need
put
more
that
than
out
that.
there in relationships, been like, look, if we're not going to do the sex thing, if that's not part of this, I can do that with somebody else because I like some of the other things we got going on.
Wow, that's the problem. I don't think that really works with women so well.
It's never worked out the way I thought it would. So
Well, I mean, what's funny about that though, and I forget which book it is, but it talks about how, like, no one single person is going to essentially like, fill all your needs, so to speak. And that's why like you have friends and you have whatever, you know what I mean? So
That's why I dated 6 girls at that time.
there
Right?
you go.
I was trying to solve all the different problems with multiple people.
At the end of the day, it's just like,
no, I'm right with you.
no, but it's true. I mean, and that's fine because it's like, all right, sweet. It's like you're in a relationship, you have your guy friends, you can go whatever you do, you golf, whatever you got to do with your guy friends, locker room talk. But that doesn't work out if like you have a relationship where like that woman's all you, but it's like, all right, yeah, I love you, but we don't have physical chemistry. I'd like to go get that somewhere else. It's like, well, no, that's not going to work.
Doesn't
right?
work.
So then you're kind of screwed. But
I
any
heard-
other facet,
I heard a guy-
any other void, so to speak,
Yep.
you can find elsewhere.
That's
But it's just
exactly yeah.
It's
That's what I
funny
came
when
to
I
as
really
well.
like started breaking it down, thinking about it. I was like, you know what? It's pretty interesting that a lot of like those voids are going to get filled in other relationships, but there's certain voids that are essentially not allowed.
Can't do that.
There's one void that
Yeah.
we must fill together.
I heard a guy on YouTube saying,
By the way,
that-
I love how this has become our conversation of
Yeah, right?
unconventional
Nothing else.
investments.
nothing else.
Unconventional looks at relationships.
He was saying that his analogy was that sex in a relationship is like a bathroom in a house. It's like you're not in the bathroom all the time, but the house better have a bathroom.
That's right. Yeah, I feel the same way. And I've had this conversation with the most important woman in my life. And I just very clear, like I
Your
can
mom?
hire
Your mom?
everything out.
It's nice.
No,
Your
definitely
mom.
not my mom. Love her from the 2,000-mile distance we have.
Not
That's
for
just
nothing.
enough.
Once you get into a serious relationship, that becomes a thing in terms of like who you called first when something important
Oh,
happens.
right.
I've run
It's
into that.
always-
I've run
it's
into that
always
little
different.
road bump recently.
You don't be calling
You're
your
taking
mom.
your relationship to the next level, Mitch. Congratulations.
You don't be calling your mom.
So I told Dorena, I said, look, I can hire literally everything else in my life that you do. I can hire all of the things except for that one. And I could hire that too. The question is that the one you want to hire out?
Yeah, right.
And we had this conversation like very real. And like,
That
I'm
doesn't work.
joking, like while we're having the conversation, but she's like, that's how you think. I was like, yes, that is 100% how
Wow.
this brain operates.
I
It
love
is,
that.
everything is replaceable. The question is, what part do you want replaced? And if that's not the replaceable one, then let's have a conversation about how much time you're spending on things that stress you out, because you can't be in a good place as a woman if you're stressed out. And so if
Yeah.
you're stressed, I need to hire something out, and that's fine with me. I'll hire that bitch out. Like, let's go. That's just gone. But the other stuff, if you're not in a good, happy state, and you and I are not on that level where our chemistry works, like I'm down to work on it. Like, I'm okay with it. If there's anything, like if I got to brush my teeth, I'm gonna brush my teeth. Or if I got to hit the gym, I'll hit the gym. If I got to say a couple magical words to get the thing going, like I'll get the thing going. But if it's like you're already stressed from like other things in your life, like who do I have to kill? Like what is going on in your world that needs to be changed?
That's awesome. Oh, so then, anyways,
So yeah, there you
move
go.
to the next. The new.
So
move to
what was
next
the
one. Somebody else.
punchline?
Somebody
No,
else.
the punchline is I did the math on how much a woman like sex costs. It's about $45,000 a year, depending on the
Oh,
quality. Yeah, it's about that. So
Oh my god! I meant the punchline from Mike's story.
oh, my wife's got a punchline.
Wait, I don't even remember the story. I was just saying the other thing. The other thing in the story is somebody was saying to me, I was talking about, maybe you move to Puerto Rico for tax purposes.
Yep.
And he brought up a really good point that nobody had said to me yet, was that he didn't think that in 10 years the Puerto Rican tax loophole will exist anymore.
This is a hell of a segue, Mike. That's a hard right. From,
I
from
said
the
I had
sex
two
requirements
things.
to-
I
So
mean,
taxes, investing in the place you live as a tax loophole could be an unconventional investment.
Hey,
there you
I'll
go.
throw that out there.
That's
Yeah.
an unconventional investment. I mean, he may not be wrong, but I mean, at the same time, who the F has a crystal ball? I'm sure he's got his
Yeah, we
reasons
don't
on
know.
why he
You
believes
keep
this.
telling me the
Well, they were
1031
just saying they
exchange
didn't
going
want crypto people to like avoid taxes when we have a deficit and all this stuff. Like, for what reason are these rich people?
Oh yeah, because that's the reason for the deficit. Crypto.
Oh, no,
taxes.
not at all. No, I was saying
I
all
know.
these rich people getting a tax loophole, and I don't have anything against rich people, you know.
Being one of them,
I love them,
it feels
right?
good when we're not
Yeah.
taxed.
I'm just saying that it's interesting you're thinking about decisions like maybe you should move to Puerto Rico to save on taxes, you know, and that kind of thing. And then when somebody says to you, yeah, I don't know if that loophole will be around because Congress could, that's an easy target for both Democrats and Republicans. Say, oh, there's all these.
It's true, but you know what, Mike? Look at you right now. You've lived in Roatan for a year. Now you're gonna go live in Spain or Europe. Like,
Rotan,
who
España.
cares? Like, move to the place that works for your taxes today. Move to the next place that works for your taxes tomorrow. Like,
So true.
like where
So
you
true.
live, I think it gets like, yes, for sure.
What is the saying?
My
What is the
office.
saying? Worrying about the future is like praying for what you don't want.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a pray for the place I go taxes me the least. Yeah. Like that's, and
Right,
then I'll make,
move again.
yep.
Move again. There, when I was a kid, I swear to God, I've never forgotten this. So we lived in a very nice neighborhood in the east side, and there was this family that moved in at a big, beautiful house down the street, and they would just trucks around that house all the time, working on this house. 2 years later, boom, moved. And then they were like 3 blocks away from us in another house, working on the house. Every 2 years, this family would just move,
Yeah.
fix
That
it up,
was,
get the
that was
capital.
the strategy I followed. I just kept fixing the house, rolling into the next one. That's
Yeah.
actually what caused my the first divorce. Well, first and last. Let me be very clear.
Yeah, right. First divorce. What the hell's that?
You can't get divorced a second time if you don't get married.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
There you go.
Ah,
That's a good point.
You can never get divorced if you never get married.
Yeah.
you figured it out, Mitch. Look at you
No,
going
that's just
Wait a
divorceless.
sec. Wait a sec. There's some states like California's
Common law marriage.
property. Yeah, common
Common
law
law.
marriage.
Almost every
7
state.
years. Treats her like a wife. You're
I think
Yep.
New York was 7 years.
yeah. I think California was 7.
That's why I keep moving, Mike. Just got to keep moving.
Babe, we're gonna move. Why? It's
We're
just
gonna move.
time. It's just time. Why? I've had enough
just
of this.
time.
This Florida thing.
just
It's been
do.
fun, but let's go up. Yeah, let's go back up north. I know you miss Massachusetts. We'll go there for a year.
So of all the investments we talked about, I think the most unconventional, but probably most important, is your spouse. I think that that came up actually in a conversation earlier today. The last question he asked me on the podcast: would you get in a fight with your client or a fight with your spouse? And the answer is, I think the point is to find out how important your spouse is. And to me, I was like, well, if the client's causing me problems at home, like I'll fire the client. But if I'm getting in a fight with my spouse, is probably a good fucking reason. Like let's go fight it out, let's figure it out, and then move forward. I don't
Right.
avoid them for sure, but if there's something in the world that I can remove, like yes, I'm going to do that. But I
Maybe.
think the investment, the most unconventional investment there is the people you spend your time with. It is the one you're
100%.
closest to.
I
Right?
love that.
Spouse is like one of the most important decisions of your life because that's gonna have the biggest impact and and bearing on your life.
The single most important investment is the person you spend your time with.
Oh my God, my decisions.
It's
are
worked
all
out for Mike. Look.
It's because of because of Brenda. Like the houses we bought, the businesses we bought, moving to Roatan, it's all because who I was with,
Going heavy on Tesla. She was very supportive in it. The
Yeah.
HELOC. Like you think about all your strategies.
This place I'm sitting right now, it's right next to the supermarket that we go to, and she kept saying, you should buy this building. Told that story like a million times, and finally I listened to her, and it's great, a great
in
decision.
the book. Fast Track to Millions by Michael Schein. How to
Yeah,
profit
go
through
buy it, then
partnerships.
review it if you liked it. How's that?
Buy it
right?
and give it a positive review if you liked it.
If you liked it, not if you didn't.
You can sit in the seat when you're reading it, but you only need the edge.
If you didn't, just swipe right. Keep going.
Keep swiping right.
I don't
Thumbs
know.
up, like, share, subscribe. So if you're getting a lot of value out of this podcast, obviously just like it and then share it. And
Have
then
a
if you
good
share it,
weekend.
subscribe.
Enjoy your weekend.
We're gonna do the 52 weeks to wealth tomorrow. We're gonna hit that same as we always do every week.
You have
It's the,
two
a good
themes
principle.
tomorrow or one theme?
one.
What is it?
I'm gonna find out in a second as Mitch talks about organizing and collecting. I'm pulling it up right now.
As we
Nice.
figure out if we've read the book of the week.
Yeah, right. Well,
All
I've read
right.
all except for principles, but it's been a few years.
They're
So
all
wealth principle
principles.
24, the power of stick-to-itiveness. Book of the week
I didn't.
is The Alchemist.
Oh my
So,
God.
going into
I haven't read.
Unconventional
I've
24.
I've purchased that book, but I've gifted that book, but I've
You
not
know
read it.
that book, my best man read it at my wedding.
There it is.
That's how important that book is to me.
Next time I visit Gualter, I'll read
Hey.
it. That's the copy I got him in the corner.
And actually, that whole Roatan thing is from that because there's a baker in
That's right.
there who wants to go to Egypt when he retires. Is that right? Was it Egypt?
I can't
Anyways,
remember.
he's a baker and he works and he works and he works. And when the boy in The Alchemist asks him, why don't you follow your dreams? He says, when I retire, but then I think he dies.
He
I don't know.
dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Never
That's why you go to
retires.
Roatan.
Why you go to Roatan?
He doesn't make it. The point is that you got to do the things you want to do today.
Yeah, do all the
because I
things.
guarantee that you will die. That 100% certain.
Don't
Yeah.
do all the things. You might upset some people.
Yeah. What was that other book that I told you to order? Just as a bonus book today.
The one from today.
I just said the what do you call
Just
it? Like
ordered it.
Vishen,
Uh,
Mind Valley guy.
Yeah, I already
I
forgot.
ordered
the
it.
The Code of the Extraordinary Mind.
There you go.
If you
Yep.
need a book for this weekend, get that one. Code of the Extraordinary Mind.
No, get The Alchemist. Read The Alchemist.
Read The
Show up
Alchemist. And read
tomorrow.
it to your kids. We read it to Jonah because it's like a fable. Such a great-
Register at ibuildmillionaires.com. 10:30 a.m. Mitch Jaworski, take us out of here.
10:30 a.m. What did
10
you say?
a.m.
10 a.m. 10
10
a.m.
a.m.
Eastern Standard
9:40
Time.
if you're in the mentorship.
10
Yeah,
a.m. is
only
when
9:30 if you're early. 9:40.
yes, 9:45 if you're in the cool crowd.
Right.
All right.
10 a.m. for everyone else, and that's when Gualter starts to show you how to organize and collect.
Hell yeah.
All right. I gotta go.
Mike, take us out of here.
Massive income from passive income. Be a money magnet. Go out there.
Summer of money.
Summer money.
Organize and collect. Cheers to your success. We have a choice.
Always work with the best.
Yes, the
Summer
best.
money.
Summer money.
Hashtag. Make it a thing.
Summer money.
Summer
2023.
money.
Summer money. Hashtag it.